Hey there, everybody. My name is Honeybeth Wiggs, and I wanted to share with you some things that have been going through my mind for the past 6 to 8 weeks on an idea of goals versus vision. This is something that I have been dealing with for a little while, and I didn't even know it. And recently, I've had a lot of clarity on my vision, what it is that I'm working towards. And it's put a lot of other things into perspective as far as my goal setting that I've done in the past. So I wanted to share some thoughts with you, as well as some encouragement and tools for setting your own vision. So let me go down here. Perfect. Now, my good friend, Presidential Director Kim Fisk, sent me a message a few weeks ago with this training webinar that she did, and it was titled 7 Habits of Highly Effective Coaches. I watched this, and it really was phenomenal. But I had to watch it several times before I could just ingrain it in my own mind. And she had 7 great habits, but I got stuck on the first one, which was the why and the desire. And this is something that I have really had to figure out over the years. My why, my desire, hasn't always been the same, nor has it been really easy for me to discover at times. So that's why this first point that she brought up was really fantastic. If you have not seen this, we do have the link to it on our Facebook page, and I highly recommend that you take some time to watch it. It's about a 30-minute training video. What she did was she took the compensation plan and she broke it into 3 parts. She put it into categories of what 50% of the coaches do. And those are coaches who are making about $800 a month. And then what 5% of the coaches do, which are coaches who are earning approximately $3,000 a month. And then what the 0.5% of coaches do. And those are our fully integrated business leaders that are making $100,000 a month or more. So these are her points as according to the why and the desire. So 50% of the coaches, they are very happy just helping a few people get healthy, whether it's family members or friends, people that are in their neighborhood. They just don't have a strong desire to build a big business or to replace income. They just want to help a few people, and that's perfectly fine. We are so grateful for every single person who helps others get healthy. Then we move on to the 5%. That 5% of coaches, they are ones that have that strong desire to maybe build a residual income or to put aside for retirement, or maybe they're looking to be able to leave a job that they're not too happy with. But there's usually a strong desire and an income-based goal for those 5%. And those are great things, and not everybody has that. So it's good to have those types of goals to work towards. Then there's the 0.5%. And this is where our business leaders really thrive. They are working to leave a legacy. They have a bigger picture than a lot of us could even understand. And they have that feeling of value and of purpose. And that's what drives them every day. And when you have that type of feeling and direction, you really have an opportunity to make some fantastic impacts in the world around you. So let's take a look at how some of these things start to play out. This is a natural progression of goals according to Honeybeth. So this is the way I see things, and it was breaking down in my head. So when we have a brand new coach, or if you're a brand new coach, this is what tends to happen. We have a set path for us. So we have training guide number 1, training guide number 2. Both of those come in our health coach kit. And it lays out the plan. It lays out what you need to do to achieve senior health coach, what you need to do to achieve executive director. Plain and simple. There's not a whole lot of individual thinking or goal setting that you have to set on your own. It's planned out for you, which is great. I'm very grateful for that. And it's a very clear path to follow. Then as we become executive directors, that's when we tend to move forward into becoming a fully integrated business coach. And that is when your vision starts to get a little bit broader, or I should say narrowed in about what it is that you want. Your focus gets narrowed in and you see a bigger picture. You definitely start inviting others to come and join you and to help people get healthy. You have these goals that might even be career goals, that you want to change careers now and become a full-time health coach. And you're seeing how Take Shape for Life has changed your life in all the areas of the trilogy. And you want to present the trilogy to others: healthy mind, healthy body, and healthy finances. So that's a second step. That's the next natural progression. And we tend to have our personal goals as a fully integrated business coach moving forward. The next thing is that when we become a fully integrated business coach, we are leading others to follow that same path. Senior health coach, ED, do you want to go further? Do you want more? And guiding them down that path. So it's very duplicable and easy to follow. At the same time, there can be a moment or two in your journey where you just stop for a second and ask yourself some questions. I have done this in the past. These are questions that I have asked myself at certain times over the past 6 years. And it's okay to ask these questions. Actually, questions are great because it really means that you're thinking and you're digging deep. But these are the questions that some people might have come up, maybe even you. What now? How do I set new goals? I don't know what I'm looking for, and what does a new goal look like, and where am I moving towards? What do I want? Where do I go from here? All of these questions, or even just one of them, are very valid, and they are things that we have to sit and we have to think about. And the nice thing is that by asking those questions, we are able to move forward. And one thing that I would like to offer to you is just to be aware of something that may have been happening in the past. Be mindful that it could happen in the future. I wish I had been a little bit more mindful about this topic right here, the oscillating cycle of goal setting. I have done this time and time again, and I've talked to other coaches as well, all throughout Take Shape for Life. And it does seem to happen with other coaches too. I wasn't the only person. So an oscillating cycle of goal setting can cause certain things to happen in your business. So let's just talk about the structural tension chart first of all. Structural tension chart 101. We set a goal, and then we talk about our current reality, and then we set our action steps. Great. We've got a plan in place. We're ready to go. We're fully integrated business coaches, or ED, moving towards that. We have our goal. We have our structural tension chart. This is our plan for the month. And here we go. And you achieve it. Great. You achieve the goal and you did it. And I've been coached and mentored, and I mentor my coaches to have another structural tension chart in place so that you don't lose momentum, so that you're constantly knowing what you're moving towards. However, even when you do have another structural tension chart in place, you can lose a little bit of momentum, because you might look at that other chart or where you thought you wanted to go, and it might surprise you that you think, well, is this really what I wanted? Is this really what's driving me daily? Is this really my next goal? And stalls can happen. And it's important to recognize those for what they are and to have a plan to move forward from them. Goals are so wonderful, and we need them. And the thing that I've noticed about goals is that sometimes they can be very painful, and that's not a bad thing. We push and push and push, and goals will push us. It'll push us out of our comfort zone. A goal will push us to do things that we hadn't done before, and they'll push us to work hard to achieve that goal. And working hard is fantastic. When we obtain that goal, sometimes we want to just sit back for a second and take a breath. Ah, that was great. And enjoy the benefits, reap the rewards of all our hard work, which is a natural thing to do. That point, though, is what can cause a loss in a momentum, and even a loss of direction and focus. And I have found myself in that oscillating cycle where I'll set a goal and I'll achieve it, and then I'll sit back and I'll enjoy it, and I'll lose momentum. And then I'll have to think, well, what do I want to work towards next? This can happen to people. It happened to me in a couple different things. I remember having a conversation with my mentors, Lee and Lana Badashev, several years ago, and making a comment, I'm really good with where I am right now. I don't feel the need to push or move forward. I love helping people. I love helping my coaches, and I'm good. And part of that was because I didn't know what I wanted, and I didn't have a clear vision, and I was just constantly goal setting. And it even happened as recently as the Aruba incentive trip. I worked really hard to qualify for that trip, and in December I was a point or so behind track of where I wanted to be. So when January came around, January 2014, I really had to work hard. And at one point I thought, I'm not going to make it, and just kind of came to that conclusion that if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I received a call from Lana asking me if I really still wanted to work towards it, and I said yes. And so the last 2 weeks of the month, I was in such great momentum. I was pushing. I was pushing towards that goal, and I was going to talk to whoever I needed to talk to and encourage whoever I needed to encourage. And the end of January came, and I earned the Aruba trip. Great. I achieved my goal. So what did I do? I stepped back, and I just kind of floated through February, waiting for the beginning of March to get here so I could go to Aruba. And I lost momentum because I didn't know where I was going. So I had some thinking to do, and I started to just really consider what some of my past goals were and where I was going. So this is where vision comes in. And I can tell you that my awakening to the vision that I have for what I want with my life and my business, that happened. Seeds were starting to be planted before Go Global. I spent a year in Austin, Texas, last year, 2013, in Austin, Texas. And it was an incredible year of personal growth. And it was difficult. It was very hard at times. And I had a decision to make when I came back to North Carolina in the beginning of 2014. Am I going to take these things that I learned and just shelf them, or am I going to start implementing them back here at home at North Carolina? And I decided I was going to implement. So because I was doing that, seeds of a vision were starting to be planted before Go Global. Side note, number one, never miss an event. You never know what is going to happen to you personally at an event. Seriously. I have never missed an event that I qualify for or that I can get to. And it's not even necessarily sometimes the things that you hear from stage, it's the conversations that you have with other leaders in between sessions. And even the Aruba trip, I had about a 30-minute conversation with Terry Miller one morning. Early, she was out on a veranda having coffee, and I sat down and she invited me just to talk, and I shared some things with her. And she said something to me that was so important. She said, personal growth is usually followed by an abundant business growth. And I am experiencing that right now. And I'm very grateful for all of the leaders who have poured into my life. So side note over, but go to events. They're so important. So here's the thing about a vision. A vision will pull. And so when I was at Go Global, I was struggling with some things, but I had a conversation with Kim Fisk, who put some things into perspective for me. And when I came back from Go Global, before I went to Go Global, I had this idea of a vision and I didn't know what to do with it. And when I came back from Go Global, I knew exactly what I needed to do with that vision. And a vision pulls. Not only does it pull you, which is so inviting, goals tend to push, and there tends to be a little bit of resistance with those goals, and it's hard. And not that it can't be fun, it is fun, but it can be hard and it can push, which is uncomfortable at times. But when a vision is pulling you, it is enticing you, it is engaging you, and you want it. And there's such a different feeling. And that is what makes a vision so inviting, especially for other people. And when you have a vision and you know what is pulling you and what is enticing you and what you're working towards, other people are pulled towards you and your vision. Before, with me and my personality, this is just an example, people were drawn to me. I'm a performance major. I love working in that arena, and people are drawn to me. But when I figured out how to use my talents and my skills in conjunction with my vision, all of a sudden, people are drawn to my vision. And this is what's great. That is what's drawing people to me now that maybe can help me with my vision, that are of the same mind, or they have similar type visions and Take Shape for Life as a vehicle for them to accomplish their goals and vision, which helps me accomplish my vision. So it really attracts a certain type of person in your sphere of influence. All of a sudden people are popping up that really are attractive to you, and you're attractive to them because you're like-minded. So it really does make a difference. So those are some of the benefits. Everything is about the vision. It's not about you. You are kind of taken out of the equation, so that when you finally have this, it's something that people are drawn to. And the other thing that I've found lately is that when you are of service and value to people, just freely of service and value, caring for people, sharing information with people, sharing your weekly habit of health with people, little things like that, encouraging people to be the best that they can be, that is attractive to people. And they want to know more about you and what you stand for. And the other thing that I've noticed is that when you do have a vision, and you know what you're working towards, when you have that pull, not the push, but when you have the pull, your business will organically take shape the way it needs to. I, in the past, whenever I would get up and finally get on the computer, I would dig into the back office and I would just look at what's going on in my business, who's doing what, who do I need to call, how can I mold and shape my business to be what it needs to be, and let me just work inside the business. And I was always of that mindset. Please hear me. That's not bad, but that was my focus. And that's what was driving me. But now that I have a vision and I know where I'm going, my business and the structure of my business, the look, the feel, the flow, the rhythm of my business, it takes care of itself. I can't explain it. It's just an organic outgrowth of the leader and what the leader is learning and what the leader is doing. So it's liberating is what it is. And I wanted to share this with you because there are things that you can do to find your vision if you don't have your vision yet. And if you do have a vision, then think about the things that you're doing daily to be in contact with people and to share. Speak your vision. I was terrified to speak my vision to people. I thought they would think I was crazy. And I did it the first time, and I was, believe it or not, I was just bashful, and it wasn't even natural for me to say it. But the more I did it, the more natural it became, and then the easier it was to share, and the more I shared, the more people who loved it and wanted to be a part of it and are being a part of it. So this is encouragement for you to help find your vision. I wish I had done this years ago, and I just wanted to put this in your mind as something that you can do to help realize a vision that might be molding and formulating in your life, and you haven't been able to see it yet, to get a grasp of it yet. So every time you set a goal, one of your goals, one of your structural attention charts, just take 10 to 15 minutes and think about it. Think about these things. Why is achieving that goal important? And what is it going to feel like when I achieve it? And what could this goal possibly be leading me towards? What are some things that could happen because I reach this goal? Really spend about 10 or 15 minutes and then journal. Write down everything you think, everything you feel. And over time, when you go back and you're able to look and read at those thoughts, you're going to see patterns of where your goals might be taking you. And before you know it, you could have a clear vision of and an idea of what you want to accomplish with your Take Shape for Life business, what you want to accomplish with your life, with leaving that legacy, and for your family or for your community, and what that's going to look like. So take the time to journal, and over time reading that, I think that will help you find a vision. So remember this: goals push until a vision pulls. You will be able to look back over your journey and see a pattern become clear. And that's the great encouragement. Some people know what their vision is immediately. Other people, like me, it takes a little while. But once you catch the vision, it can't be taught. You can't just read a book and it be there. But once you catch it, when you're open to it, when you're mindful, one of our habits of health, when you're mindful of what your goals are taking you towards, you will start to feel a pull towards that vision. And I really do understand, at least I think I do. I'm not a fully integrated business leader. I'm not a presidential director, but I do have a glimpse of what that feeling is to wake up in the morning and know exactly what I'm doing and what I'm working towards. And when Dr. Anderson says things like, the leaders are bulletproof, I get that. because the tiny little things that are happening during the day or during the week in my business, they don't bother me. They don't detract me from what my vision is. I will deal with what I need to deal with, but they are not going to make me lose momentum. And the difference between having a vision and just a goal, when you have a goal, you have action steps that help you achieve your goal. When you have a vision, your goals become your action steps. And that is just a greater span of momentum. It's this huge wheel, huge rock rolling down a mountain. And the synergy and the that it creates within your sphere of influence, within your team, within your family even, is phenomenal. So I really wanted to encourage you. I hope you find this of value and that you can take a couple of things away and just really work on moving towards that thought process and watch out for oscillating cycles of goal setting. It can happen. It's something that we want to watch out for and always be moving towards that greater purpose that you could have within your sphere of influence. Thanks so much.